Dahlia is finally ready to hit the streets. Tommy is still not going to be able to trust Claudia, and him and Liliana are taking their business relationship to the next level. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Power Book 4/4 video. In this video, we are breaking down episode number 8 from season 1. But before I do, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my Power Book 4/4 videos. Alright, y'all, in this episode, Dahlia, the pedestrian version, child, not the designer drug that Claudia originally had, hits the streets. Tommy is able to start ruling it out to his distributors, also known as the Palmeras. So Tommy's Chicago drug organization is in business. Now, he gets them to buy in at $55 a brick, which is a lot. He's making a hell of a lot of money off of Dahlia. However, it is one of those drugs that is worth it. With the increased price tag, you also get a much better, cleaner high, as we have seen. Dahlia is still out here laying everybody out on a you-know-whats. And in this episode, we get to see how Tommy is trying to be very, very strategic about the rollout of Dahlia. So they don't want Claudia's family involved. He doesn't really want CBI involved until Diamond can exert full control and they don't have to worry about Jenard. Tommy don't want to get CBI involved. However, Claudia is going to be a problem with this. She, at the start of the episode, is pissed because Tommy feels too much in power. He's making all the calls. He's the front-facing person. She's the one behind the scenes, and she's pissed about this. And I called this over the course of the last few episodes, I've been saying that Claudia is going to be a problem because she is not actually trying to build a business. She is not actually trying to build an empire. She's trying to build her name and notoriety. She's trying to step out of her family's shadows and make a point of people seeing her and her feeling seen. And that's the type of stuff that gets you killed or put in jail because you're too focused on trying to be famous behind some criminals. Like, girl, make that make sense. You so busy trying to be a famous drug dealer when you literally have the partner in Tommy, the best partner that you could possibly ask for, because you actually don't know what you're doing. Yes, you've grown up in a criminal organization, but you've been shielded and you've been restricted to doing all of the things that are on the legit side of things. So now that you are actually in the drug side of it, you actually have somebody walking you through it, setting up the network, telling you how to avoid as many missteps as possible, who has years in the game, like has made millions and millions and millions of dollars in this thing. You are too focused on wanting people to know that you're behind it, wanting to be famous, wanting to be seen. And it boggles my mind. I don't know any successful drug dealers that stayed a success while also seeking fame. Like, yes, we do have the big drug dealers who names that we know, but they weren't out here trying to get publicists and make sure people knew that they was behind it. They became famous because their worked so well, because they made so much money, because their drug was so good, or whatever the branding is behind the product that they were pushing. I am so annoyed by Claudia. Like, her and Jenard really bother me within these organizations because they're literally going to be the Achilles heel. In this episode, Claudia goes behind Tommy's back to go meet with Diamond and try to get CBI brought in after he literally already told her that he did not want to get CBI involved until later, once Diamond is able to work out whatever they got going on over there and be able to either better handle Jenard or Jenard works his way out. She gets sent away expeditiously by Diamond because Diamond already knows what it is. And that's another thing. Tommy knows Diamond. Claudia does not know nearly as much as she thinks that she knows. And the way that she's moving is just with so much arrogance and privilege. I'm like, yo, where is her bullet at? Because I'm gonna need it to come. We already know that there are going to be heightened stakes and things like that when it comes to Walter and Tommy, and I totally could see Claudia catching a bullet and dying being the thing that ultimately puts the stake in their relationship and has Walter Flynn coming for Tommy for real, because yes, he told him to get out of Chicago and he stayed. Yes, he's made idle threats. Yes, in this episode we actually get to see Walter Flynn try to get Tommy out of the way by trying to recruit him into his organization. But if his daughter dies behind doing some business with Tommy, even if it's not Tommy's fault, because it's 100% going to be Claudia's fault, I could totally see that being the thing that Walter uses to be the most anti-Tommy. The antithesis of ultimate villain for Tommy will be Walter Flynn if Claudia dies behind this. But again, once Claudia dies, it's going to be her fault because she's moving funny, she's moving snake-like, and she's setting herself up to either get caught or get killed. Now, also in this episode, while we talking about these damn Walter Flynn kids, Vic makes a point to go and see about Gloria, and he convinces her to run with him. Tommy comes and meets with him after, you know, he met up with Walter Flynn and lets him know, like, yo, your father wanted to bring me in. He doing this and this. You gonna need to protect Gloria because he's not feeling her. So he decides, yes, we're gonna run. Cool. I knew the moment that Gloria said okay to leaving with him, I knew that she was dead. In that moment, it just felt like it. Because good things don't happen to bad people in power, y'all. And not that Vic is like the most horrible person, but you know, he's on one side of the law, and he has been fighting this entire season to, one, win Gloria back, to fighting demons within himself and within his family, to try to get people to be okay with the idea of him and Gloria, and for him to have sold the land, to be picking up and ready to just run off and move and give up everything to be with her, and her to just say okay after we have literally watched them pretty much in every episode previously in this season go back and forth, and him and Hall around wanting to be with each other and wanting to commit, and the issues that they have about his family and this and that. For her to just say okay, I was like, oh, this is the beginning of the end. And by golly, Miss Molly, by the end of the episode, we see Gloria catching bullets through the front glass of this truck that Vic is driving. The Serbs are actually hitting them back. This definitely looks like a Serbian soldier. And she catches a bullet to the face. R.I.P. Gloria. Next time, if you want to run, I'm going to need y'all to run in separate cars until you get out of state where nobody knows you. All right, switching gears and going over to another organization. Let's talk about CBI real quick, because in this episode, we get a conversation between Diamond and Jenard, where Jenard is playing like the good number two. He's playing like, oh, all I want to do is support you, brother. You are CBI. There's no CBI without you. I'm just glad you're back. And whether you want to move antiquated or not, if you want to be in your old school ways or not, I got you 100%. Fast forward 10 minutes later, he's down in the basement concocting some other little ridiculous plans and doing some snake stuff. It's time for Jenard to catch a bullet too, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you. He did definitely come for the throne before, but like now he's moving too snake-like for me. If you really got all these problems, then you need to just speak your mind. Jenard is a coward. He is a coward in like every sense of the word, and it's annoying to see. Diamond is about to have to deal with this very real problem by way of Jenard, and I don't like that for him, because he also, not only is he motivated by greed, and he has a little bit of like wanting to be the person seen and known as well, but he is mostly motivated by resentment for past decisions that have led him on a path that he ultimately, I guess, didn't want to be at. He feels like he should be maybe an MMA fighter or professional something. He should have went to college, and he didn't, because Diamond chose him to be the one to lead CBI. And it's just like, you gonna even have to let that hurt go, baby, or you gonna need to go after your dreams. But either way, you gotta go. It gotta go, you gotta go, because I don't see nothing. Like, Diamond has shown him in more ways than one, in multiple episodes, that he hears him. Like, Diamond don't always agree with Jenard, but he definitely hears him, and he's made certain decisions. Even the decision to cut Tommy out was one that was motivated mostly by Jenard, and Diamond did that because he wanted to be able to show his brother, like, yo, I hear you. The same thing when they decided not to continue on and go after Liliana. That was something that Jenard was like, nah, why are we doing that? So for Diamond to be making all these extra moves and trying his best to compromise with his brother, even though he is still the leader of the CBI, and Jenard to be moving the way that he's moving on the back end, it's not going to end well for them. And ultimately, Jenard is going to wind up being the reason why CBI implodes. With a little bit of, you know, the reporter on top, because we get a little bit more clarity in this episode from old curly hair shorty, who Diamond actually has figured out who she is and is asking questions about why she's there. And she provides a little bit of context into what was going on, what was the initial story, and what's the story now. I do believe Adrian when she says what she says about how she doesn't know where she's at, and she doesn't want him to be the story, and that she do feel like he is bigger than the story. So I definitely still want to trust her, but y'all, this is power, and you know we can't really trust nobody, so we definitely got to keep our head on the swivel. On a lighter note, in this episode, Tommy gets to connect with his nephew before realizing that it's his nephew, because what? D-Mac wants in. He hasn't been doing much with the CBI, but he feels like he's an asset. He's really great with numbers, and he rolls up on Tommy like, yo, can you find a spot for me? And Tommy is in need right now of somebody who can cook, and D-Mac can calculate, so it looks like he's gonna be heading his behind to the lab, which might wind up being a problem, because in this episode, Tommy also decides to put JP in the lab. He's been begging for a job. He wants to earn his keep, so now he's going to join the chemist and help cook up Dahlia so that they can keep the production moving. And shout out to Liliana, who in this episode was just swooning over JP's voice. She provided so much comedic relief. It was ridiculous, but so funny. Oh, I forgot to mention this about Jenard, but a clear sign that Jenard is really going to f everything up, y'all, is how he actually hit the Jewish people trying to steal Dahlia from them, and then pass it along to these little Gary, Indiana, messed up eye boy, because he's trying to solidify this pipeline to Indiana. And it's like, you're doing all this, but you robbed this one person. You have no setup of actual distribution. You have no connect for Dahlia. So are you just going to keep robbing distributors? Is that what's going to happen? Do you not think the next Jewish person is not going to be strapped because of you laying out this one in the alley just now? Like, make it make sense, Jenard, because none of the things that you do actually make sense. Before the episode ends, we get JP calling Kate. So we're going to see Kate probably in the next 2 episodes. She's going to have to bring her behind to Chicago. Something happened to grandma in this episode, y'all. So JP was pushing for Tommy to call her, and he refuses to call her. And ultimately, I guess he just goes ahead and lets JP call. But this is after Tommy discovers more information about D-Mac and specifically JP, because he follows D-Mac, I guess, before putting him in the cookhouse and before actually bringing him into the organization. He want to see what he's on, what he's about, and he actually followed him to a stash that he keeps, where he's actually keeping that photo of himself and JP when he was younger. And now things just got even more complicated. Aside from that, Walter makes it known to Claudia that he is going to destroy whatever she got going on, and he makes it known to Vic that he, 1, doesn't want Gloria around, and 2, needs him to figure out what the hell Claudia is doing, and 3, he ain't playing with none of these people. So I can definitely imagine the next 2 episodes he's about to bring a noise. That is my full breakdown for episode 8 of Power Book 4 Force. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Did I miss anything? What else do you want to further discuss? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss out on any of my Power Book 4 Force videos coming soon. Okay? It's your good sis, Erica Vane, and I'll see you in the next one.